Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be comparing the Ram 1500 Limited to the Ram Tungsten to see what the differences are and which truck you should buy. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Ram here in Provo for giving me some time with both of these trucks. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. Also include a link to my carb buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering the Tungsten is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed, puts out 540 horsepower and then 521 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 15 around town, 21 on the highway, and the Limited has the same exact powertrain. Before we move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the front ends, I think this is very interesting. So with the Tungsten package, you can see the special coloration there in the grille, and of course you got the upgraded headlights, but you also have the upgraded headlights on the Limited. The interesting part is the bottom part of the fascia. Notice that it is all one unit, and I'm pretty sure it's all plastic, as you can see. Whereas the Limited over here, you've got a separate bumper, which, not plastic. So a little bit more trucky, a little bit more aggressive, but it's just interesting to see the two side by side because they look very similar, you know, the top section, but then once you go down, things change a little bit. Now the next big difference is the wheels. They have a somewhat similar style, but as you can see, the Tungsten wheels definitely look quite a bit more premium, but similar coloration. Of course, the badging is the same on them. You notice Limited there with the little strip, Tungsten on the Tungsten, and then you can see the mirror caps both chrome. And then I picked out two trucks with Ram boxes so that is comparable. You notice the Tungsten though has the cover, whereas the Limited here, this particular one does not, but you can always get that as an option. Here's a side profile with the Tungsten. Here's a side profile with the Limited. And then I do quickly want to show the rear ends of both of the trucks so you guys can see the chrome bumper versus the painted bumper over on the Tungsten. Now interiors, this is where things are quite different. So the Limited has a very nice interior with really nice materials. See the seats, pretty fancy with all of the trim. And then pay attention to the seat back as well. And then look at the carpeting. Heated ventilated seats here in the rear, USB ports. You've got your recline function. So lots of nice features. And also, you can see here at the center console, this is something else to kind of note with the trim. And we'll go from that over to the Tungsten, and a lot more stylized, nicer materials too. This thing you just have to feel in person. And then you've got the nicer sound system, even speakers here on the back of the seat. And look at the stitching in the back of the seat too. So just kind of fancier looking in general. And then much higher quality leather trim here with the seats, so they just feel a lot more premium. Even the center console lid here, that's another thing to note, feels a little bit more premium with all of the trim. Still have heated cooled seats, still have recline function, so the features are the same. And then also mentioned the carpeting feels a little bit more premium, but yeah, the materials are a lot nicer. This of course leads us to the front of the Limited, which it's crazy how this is really nice, but the Tungsten somehow makes this seem mundane. You've got massaging seats with the Limited, front two windows are automatic, and interested to see if the Tungsten's got thicker glass. It's supposed to have, the Tungsten's supposed to have, oh yeah, you can hear the difference. Yeah, this definitely has thicker glass, so more sound deadening. Anyways, blind spot warning, 1238 for the payload, and then here's the front seat. Got little cloth inserts, pedal adjustment, also power side steps, but getting in's pretty darn easy. Full digital gauge cluster. Let's quickly close this. But yeah, you've got that nice bit of tech. You've got the drive modes with this. We've got our gear limiter, adaptive cruise control. We have a 360 camera system with this. You've got your air suspension to adjust, trailer brake controls, all of that. Just nice trim. And again, pay attention to the trim pieces because that's where the biggest differences are with this, like the dash material, for example. You also have heads-up display, by the way. Camera rear view mirror, and we've got a panoramic sunroof as well. Now popping up front, you can see with the material use, again, just nicer feeling with the trim. Even the dash trim, it's just more premium feeling. 1109 is the payload. And then here are the front seats. The bolstering's even a bit different. And then you've got like the leg extension. A big thing with this, you guys can see with all of the buttons here on the side to adjust the seat versus on the side of the seat like the limited, and then the controls down here. And because the extra sound deadening, all the functions like raising the window up and down is going to be quieter. Getting in, nice side steps. Yeah, it sounds slightly more soft. Look at that push button, it's fancier. Tungsten. So features are pretty much going to be the same in terms of like adaptive cruise control, big infotainment system, camera rear view mirror, all of that. But again, the difference is in the details. So the trim throughout, got like the fancy dial shifter there. You can see with the trim on the center console as well, the carbon fiber trim. And then again on the dash, just more premium. Same thing there with the stitching. And they got the premium headliner as well. So they definitely upped the luxury with the Tungsten. Now that extra luxury is going to cost you, this limited as equipped stickers for about $86. The Tungsten is about $92,000. Let's take them out and see how they perform. Well, we'll set off in the limited first and then drive the Tungsten second and see if I feel like I've upgraded. So, first things first. Ooh, new Tesla. I really like that new Model 3, by the way. It's a nice car. I'm interested to see the new Model Y. See if Tesla's also improved that, because man, the previous gen Model 3 and Model Y are just junk. But anyways, nice materials still in the limited. I mean, here's the thing is, Ram at this point, I think they're competing with themselves. Because when you look at Ford, the Platinum Plus is, meh. It's not like bad, but it doesn't feel that special. And then the Silverado High Country, that kind of more competes against the Laramie in terms of the materials use and everything. And then if we jump over to GMC, the Denali Ultimate, I would think is a worthy contender. So actually, if you guys want me to compare a Tungsten to a Denali Ultimate, let me know and I can put that comparison together. I think that would be the only one that really makes sense, because everyone else is just, they're lacking. They're lacking. I always try to stay up with the verbiage of the day. I love this new engine. It's very smooth. In the high output form, it obviously has tons of power. It's very impressive. And zoom! It has such a strong top end too. All the other truck engines, I mean, the V8s do a pretty good job, but like especially the other turbo truck engines, they just don't have the top end that this Hurricane has. It is incredible. Really is exciting. So overall, I would say that this truck is comfortable. It's got nice seats. It's got a very nice interior. I mean, it's hard to beat just a Ram Limited. It is a very nice luxury truck with just everything that it's got going on for it. And the fit and finish in this is good too. So let's go see how the Tungsten is. Well, let us set off in the Tungsten. I can tell you right off the bat that there's more sound insulation. It is noticeable. Like you get into the truck, like just talking. Yeah, that's crazy. That is so crazy. This is one of the few times where I've actually been able to, like outside of like like if you go from like a Wrangler to a Grand Cherokee, yeah, you're gonna notice the sound insulation difference, obviously. But two trucks, the same truck pretty much, I can actually perceive the difference. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like going from the Wagoneer to the Grand Wagoneer. This the suspension and all that feels pretty much the same. I mean, it's got air suspension, just like the Limited. It's got all the same features. Gauge cluster looks a little bit fancier. Both digital, but just how they've stylized the digital cluster. It's cool. Yeah, I like these seats more. I mean, obviously they got more adjustability, which is great, but just the general comfort. Yeah, engine, I mean, it's the same engine, same power output, so it all feels the same. The benefit you're getting is, again, nicer touch points, nicer stuff to look at, better seats, and again, just generally speaking, a nicer interior. You're paying for the materials, you're not necessarily paying for the features. I mean, I guess a sound system, that's a big feature, and it is a better sound system. Ram has outdone themselves. So, is it worth it? I think it depends. I think that if you're looking at a loaded up Limited, kind of like what we compared to today, I mean, if you can afford $86,000, you can probably afford $92,000. So it's probably worth it from that sense. But if you're looking at like a base model Limited versus this, I think it's a little bit of a different story, because in that case, you know, there's value in a base model Limited. Or if you're looking at a loaded up Laramie, that's going to be quite a bit less money, then there's a different, you know, there's different math going on. But yeah, the $6,000 to get the nicer looking truck, the nicer interior, better sound insulation, better sound system, I think it's worth it. Unless you hate blue and gray, because that's the one thing, is this interior is definitely going to be polarizing for a lot of people because of the blue and the gray, versus the Limited is very neutral with its black interior. So let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know which way you would go, whether it be the Tungsten. Oh, I guess that's why they had it in 4-wheel drive auto. Put it back in 4-wheel drive auto. Got to go over the curb. But yeah, why are you beeping so hard at me? But yeah, let me know which one you go for. If it would be the Tungsten, or if it would be the Limited.